Hello viewers and listeners, welcome again to Learn at Home, and today as usual we'll be taking mathematics. I am Adejero Cornelius, your mathematics teacher, and today we'll be concentrating on a topic that concerns primaries 4 to 6. So we want to look at division. We have looked at this topic before. I know you are already familiar with division and long division in mathematics, but then we want to look at division of 2 by 2 digits, or 2 by 3, or 3 by 2 digits. We want to look at how are these division performed, because the other time we treated division of 2 by 1, where we will be dividing digits by 2 digits by 1 digit. But now we want to look at how do we divide 2 digits by 2 digits, and then 3 digits by 2 digits. So quickly we are going to be looking at that. Remember, it also involves subtraction, so don't get confused. It's very straightforward and it's very simple. So let's take our first example as we move on. So we want to divide 77 by 10. 77 as a number by 10. So as usual, we'll have our long division sign. And then you can do it like this. You have your 10 and then 77. So now what we'll have to do is, what we are trying to do is, how many times does 10 goes into 77? How many times does it go? That's what the inquiry we're trying to make. And like I did mention before, and as we can see from the topic, 2 by 2. 2 by 2. So we'll look at 2 by 2 before we look at 3 by 2. So this first example is for 2 by 2. And if you count, 77 is 1, 2. 2-digit numbers. And then we have 10. 1, 2. It involves 0, 1 and 0. So it's also 2 digits. So we'll want to divide this now, and quickly we'll find out how many times does 10 goes into 77. If you do that, it goes 7 times. So you write your 7 on top of that long division sign. Like I said before, it's very simple. It goes 7 times, then goes into 77 7 times. So you multiply 7 by 10. That's the next thing we will have to do. 7 multiplied by 10 will give us 70. To give us 70. And then the next thing is to do subtraction. Doing subtraction now is to subtract 70. After multiplication, you now do subtraction. So we have multiplied 7 by 10 to give us 70. So we'll now have to subtract what the result of the multiplication we did from the original number we were given. And then we'll see how we can proceed from there, or to terminate our solution at that level. Now, subtracting 70 from 77. 7 minus 0 will give us 7. Then 7 minus 7, of course, it's 0. So we can just leave it at 7 to give us 7. So if we have 7, the next thing we'll have to do is to find out how many times does 10 goes into 7. How many times does 10 goes into 7? and you know it's 0 times because 10 cannot go into 7. So we'll just stop at that level, and we can now write our answer as 7. That is 77 divided by 10 will give us 7 remainder 7. Why? Because this didn't end at 0. It didn't end at all. So there is a remainder. So what this means is that 10 will go into 77 7 times, and then it will remain 7. So it's remainder 7. That is why we have this R7 there. Whatever remains, you write it, you now write R, and then you have that number there. So at this level, we stop there. That is our answer, because we have 7 here, and then we have 7 here. So 10 can no longer go into 7. That's why we have to stop. And then our answer is this 7. That is the first 7 here. And then remainder 7. That is remaining 7. So we have R7 there. Now, we will now have to look at another example. And that example will deal with 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. 3-digit numbers by 2-digit numbers. So example 2. We have 4-digit number by 2 digits. So we want to divide 432 by 20. 432 by 20. So the first thing to do is to, okay, let's rewrite our question as 432 divided by 20. So if we do that and we have our long division sign this way, we will have to put our 432 here, and then 20 comes here. So if you have a problem like this, the first thing to do in this case is to use the first number to divide the first number here. And if it doesn't go through, then you now combine other numbers. But for now, if you look at this properly, you discover that 2 can go into 4. And that will be 2 times. So if 2 goes into 4, it will be 2. It will be 2. Let's write this correctly. It will be 2. Now, the next thing to do, as I did mention, as we did in the earlier example, is to multiply this 2 by this 20. That is the next thing we'll have to do before any further thing. The next step is to multiply this 2 by this 20. And if you do that multiplication correctly, it will give you 400. 400. Now we are set to proceed from there. What do? It's time to do subtraction, which is otherwise called minus. We will now have to minus the result of our multiplication from the original number we were given. The result we got from the multiplication we did from the original numbers we were given. The original number is 432. Now we have done multiplication and it has given us 400. It's time to do subtraction. And if we do our subtraction, 2 minus 0 will give us 2. 3 minus 0 will give us 3. And then 4 minus 0, or a minus 4, of course, will give us 0. So we'll stop at that point. So it's time to consider 20 again, going into 32. 20 going into what? 32. So if we consider this and we look at it properly, you will discover that 20 will go in. 2 cannot. You have to consider the entire 20 now, because 20 can go into 32 and it will go 1 times. It will go once, and then we have 20 into 32 will give us 1. What do we do again? Do we stop there? No, we'll have to conclude it. It has gone 1 time. The next thing is to multiply 1 by this 20 here. And in doing that, 1 times 20, remember, any number you multiply by 1 will give you that number. So 1 times 20 will give us 20. Again, we will do our subtraction. Now, if we do subtraction here, you discover that 2 minus 0 will give us 2. 3 minus 2 will give us 1. So, it then means 32 minus 20 is giving us 12. What do we now check? We'll now try to use this 20 to divide 12 again and see whether it goes or not. If you do that, you discover that it cannot go. And like we did in the earlier example, which is still on the board, because 20 can no longer go into 12, we terminate our answer at that point. So it then means that our 4, 3, 2 divided by 20 will give us 21, remainder 12. It means there is a remainder. The remaining number is 12. So it's not as if it's an entire whole number. So it's remaining 12. So we'll have 21, remainder 12. And with that, we have gradually come to the conclusion of this class, and it's time to give assignment. Make sure you do your assignment as I've always advised, and try to send it through the appropriate quarter. So I'll write the assignment on the board. It's as simple as what we have done. Try to do it on your own. So we have on the board, number 1, I said solve the following. Number 1, 63 divided by 30. This is 2 digits against 2 digits. 2 by 2. 2 by 2. 63 divided by 30. And then we have 256 divided by 10. Now, what this means is that this is 3 by 2, the type we did in our example 2. So with that, we have come to the conclusion of this class. Stay blessed and stay safe. God bless you. Thank you.